Good morning. So I want to talk about the um, snowballing of the metaphysical into the physical in the simplest way I can think of. And the simplest way I can think of the metaphysical, the purely idea based or informational, um, becoming the physical is motion sickness or nauseating information you hear about. Pretty much everyone knows what it's like to um, see something disgusting or hear of something disgusting and have the gut wrenching feeling happen to you. Many people have puked from seeing or hearing disgusting things. And it's often not questioned. How is it that something that is purely idea based gets into your ear and brain, and suddenly there is something in your stomach that's physical that has to come out or wants to come out? This is an example of how the metaphysical snowballs into the physical, right? Um, Motion sickness. We're in cars. We look down on our phone, and the car is driving, especially new cars, which are said to be more motion sickness inducing than old cars, because old cars, they were more at one with the earth that they were wheeling on. And so you look down on your phone, and suddenly a part of you, your attention, is not in the direction of the travel, and that somehow results in, again, there being something in your stomach that wants to come out, even though you did not put anything in your stomach per se. That's actually a good question. Can you be nauseated with an empty stomach? Yes, yes. I am 95% sure that you can. Please look it up, however. Um, we talk about the metaphysical snowballing into the physical all the time. Even the biggest skeptics and atheists. But when push comes to shove, we sort of Peter it, right? Three times we denounce it. But it's real. It's very real. Okay, and it's very testable. Um, when you breathe, it's also a matter of breathing in not just air, right? But breathing in a state. When Morpheus said, "You think that's air you're breathing?" What did he mean? He meant that at um, the pause of exhalation, there's a stillness. And if you focus on that stillness after you've exhaled, you notice that there is some information there which you are breathing in. And it's personal to everyone. It could be you're breathing in, you want a burger, or it could be you're breathing in, you have three tasks too many at the office today, what have you. At the end of exhalation too, except that the polarity is different. The polarity at the end, sorry, inhalation. At the end of inhalation, the polarity is more excited, less still. So you go, and you go, whoa, I could go to the Seychelles Islands. Why don't I? Um, so there's always information, right? And if you have good revenue, if you will, again, economy being not money, but what comes in and what goes out, what comes in and what goes out, what stays in, what stays out. That is economy, right? So if you have good revenue of breath, a circular breath, you always make sure to move on. You're a good dancer with the change. And you exhale if there is something too compulsive. Say at the end of exhalation, you exhale, you go, why did I quit smoking? I used to love smoking. Well, you sort of snap out of it and you inhale the possibility of change as you've inhaled also you missing smoking, right? I hope this is not too convoluted. To me, this is not too convoluted. Again, I'm talking about the metaphysical or the snowballing of the metaphysical into the physical. It's a sort of instant pregnancy, right? You constantly impregnate yourself with this and that, this and that. And it's a good sort of measure to snap yourself into wonder, right? What is and what isn't. Um, I also wanted to add another very interesting, quite naturally seen cue um, to do with motion sickness and nausea and just the metaphysical snowballing into the physical quite instantly, right? And that is spitting. In Western cultures, less seen, but in Eastern cultures, very seen. In Arabic cultures, very seen. I just finished watching Vikings. The Vikings spat a lot. They spat when they were disgusted, when they wanted to get rid of something. And this is put simply because it is the water that is inside you, which is imprinted with negativity or something you don't like and would like to get rid of. So in Poland, we say if you see a black cat, or I think it is, but nevertheless, if you say something horrendous or what have you, you have to go put, and preferably spit for real, right? Because the water becomes imprinted. Um, in India, there is Ekadashi fasting where people don't eat for 2 days of the month during when it's 4 days till new moon and when it's 4 days to full moon. People don't eat or they eat much less, but some people won't even swallow their saliva. This is because they want to get out of the revenue of sort of swallowing all the information, right? So they put. And so, how might this relate to getting pregnant with a human being, right? One of the most miraculous things on this in this realm, right? Motherhood. Motherhood is not just a state, not just a status, not just a feeling, not just an experience, it's a perspective, right? It's one of the, if not the most fundamental perspective of everything. And I really mean that because this is something that's referenced in the great works. The gurus say ultimately be a mother to everyone. Let the conduit, let the energy flow through you, let the metaphorical milk just get at the world, right? There's enough for everybody, but everybody's a mother or could be. And so a lot of women who can't get de facto pregnant have existential dissonances, right, at the end of their exhalations or at the beginning of their inhalations. And I don't mean to say by this start manifesting or start doing breath work or even start meditating, because there's so much hurry to just like, oh, I gotta fix this, I gotta impact this, da da da. Yeah, you might wanna, but also neuroses are, more common than rusty nails. Um, Still, it's worth examining what is my relationship to motherhood, especially if I want to get pregnant with a de facto human being, if I'm a lady. At the end of exhalation, there might sit thoughts like mothers don't exist, or thoughts like I don't have enough, or thoughts like I am not taken care of, or thoughts like I don't trust Earth. So if we just examine this and let these be open to change, there's a biochemical change happening right away. I mean, it's just that's pretty much. And if you don't believe me, keep wondering why is it that information can cause nausea? If information can cause nausea, what else can information cause, right? And what is information? Is information movement, as in motion sickness? Is information idea, as in something just getting into you? Or is it everything of these things, right? But we want motherhood. We want motherhood. We want people. I observe mothers, and it's so fundamental. You can have a mother that's kind of an asshole. She's just like she's rickety and snappy and snarky, but then the way she will pull out a blanket or pull out the nappy or pull out is just so fundamental. It's almost like she can't help herself, right? It's that impulse of I have to now mother, and it's almost divorced from her asshole behavior. I find this so comedic. You see like yeah. And of course, I have this too, right? I can go from being like, what the fuck, and then go like, huh, how are you? How can I mother you today? You know? So, very worthwhile to examine, especially if you want to be a mother.